Hi, this is Sarah in the Carson, Tahoe area. And I think this is where I'm going to do videos in front of my beautiful fish tank with Christina. This is Christina. Um, she's a crazy, dirty girl right there. And then, well, I'm not going to talk about the fish tank. This is about real estate, right? I am a real estate agent in the Carson, Tahoe area. And I'm looking for buyers. I would like to work with buyers because that's it's what I'm familiar with. I've been a buyer twice now, um, and I've been a seller once, so I can relate to buyers, especially if you're looking for your first home. I know what it feels like. Ugh, I know the drama. I mean, I'll tell you a story. The first house that we bought um, was up in Tahoe, and it was in 2010. So everybody else was foreclosing on houses, and we were fortunate enough to be in a position where we could buy a house in Tahoe, nonetheless, South Lake Tahoe, the California side. And we bought a foreclosure. And my mother in law was our broker agent. And like I said, it was a foreclosure. We were first time home buyers, and everything had just changed. You know, how people were getting mortgages just changed. It was a lot more strict and a lot they wanted everything from us. I mean, there was a point where we were going through it and they just kept asking and asking and asking for paperwork and documentation. And we need more, we need more. I was like, oh my God, we're not going to get this house. Like, we're never going to have a house. This is like, what more do they want from us? And then they needed more money from us because at the time, uh, my now ex and I were both in the service industry. He was a bartender, I was a server, and so most of our money was in tips in cash. So on paper, we didn't show that we had that much, but really we could afford it. So that was really hard. And I understand that whole process. So if you're a first time home buyer and you're a server or bartender, I've been there. I have been there. I know the feeling. And you know what? It feels like it's never going to happen. And maybe you feel like, oh my God, I'll never be able to get a house. But you will. And I can help you because I've been there. So, anyways, we got that house. It was amazing. We lived in that house for 15 years, about. And the market came back. And had the person that foreclosed on the house found a way to keep the house, they would have made all their money back. And that's what brings me to the thing where a lot of people that have not truly followed the market, but people that have uh, just heard the news are scared to get into it because yes, a lot of people got their houses foreclosed on during the Great Recession. But the people that held on to their houses and didn't freak out and sell, the people that found a way, because there were ways, they started giving out refinancing and helping people stay in their homes. I have a friend who managed to stay in their home, and now they can't leave because the deal that they got to stay in their house, and then now they've been in it for like 20 years, it's not worth it for them to sell. So that's kind of where we're at too in this market is a lot of people are holding on to those really low interest rates and looking at house prices now and the way things are, a lot of people are very reluctant to sell. And that's where the supply and demand thing. But my point is this. Yes, real estate goes up and down. And if you're looking for a long-term investment and you're a first-time homeowner and you're like, I want to get in the real estate game. That's how I was. Do it. Do it. It's the best thing you can do. Yes, it's scary. And you know what? Yeah, your house might lose a bit over the years, but it'll always come back. When I bought this house, so my ex and I are exes now, and we sold the house up in Tahoe. And I took my money and I worked my butt off. This time I was working a job where I did show I made more money on paper. I was the front of the house manager at a private club up there. And I worked and worked and worked. And I got it all situated and I bought my first house by myself. I was able to take the money that we got from selling the house in Tahoe and use it to buy a house down here. I was very fortunate. I hit the market right. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling of when things need to be done. I knew that we had to buy that house in 2010 because it was right for us. Our finances were pretty good and in order, and we had an extra chunk of money to put down. And I knew that that was the time. My ex at the time was reluctant. And I said, no, we have to do this now. It's now or never. And best choice I ever made. Now, with the market the way it is now and no crash in sight, sorry if you didn't, get in on that when it happened. And sorry for those that didn't hold on to their houses during that time. But I think that everybody should learn from that experience. And that is, don't worry. Most of the time it works out. I mean, if where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm a firm believer in that. And so if you're a first time buyer and the whole thing is scary and overwhelming, I'll hold your hand and get you through the process because it's worth it. It's so worth it. But I understand that the house prices the way they are and getting 20% down on a, you know, house today is ridiculous. I mean, really you need at least 100,000 to 200,000 to put down on a house. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of cha-ching. So, but there's ways. You can really save up. You can live with roommates. You can live in a van down by the river. There are options. You can find a way if you truly want it. And when you're ready to buy, I would love to help you get your first home. That's my jam. Let's do house hunters. Let's do house hunters, Carson, Tahoe. I can bring my sidekick Chippy along. Would you like to meet Chippy? Of course you do. So, if you would like little chiplets and I to help you get a house, I would love to take you around and we will find you the house of your dreams. Because when I was going and looking for this house in 2022, when the market was crazy hot, it was so busy. I was getting outbid constantly. I would put in an offer and denied. I had a very good offer, but people were coming in, scooping houses up with cash, and often outbidding me, or there was a lot. But I got lucky. And my real estate agent, she was great. And she never gave up on me. She never gave up. When I was about to throw in the towel, and I'm like, that's it. I'm buying an RV. My dogs and my kid and I are going to live somewhere. I don't know where, but we'll have a place. I was about to give up. And I had money in the bank for a down payment, and it was still really hard during 2022. It was horrible. Actually, it was really horrible. It was a very stressful time. So I get it. Been there, lived it in two very different markets. I lived it when it was so easy to get a house because they couldn't give them away after the recession. So easy to being like outbid constantly, feeling so defeated. And it was a horrible feeling. But hey, it all worked out. And now I live in a house that I really do love. And I've put a lot of work into it and I've made it my own. And that's the fun of home ownership. There's always, things you don't want to spend money on, like a new roof or a hot water heater. But, new floors and this and that are little upgrades that you can do along the way. And you don't have to do it all at once. You can find the house that fits or checks most of your boxes. And then as you're living there, do a project. And then you'll have your dream home, or at least pretty close to your dream home. This is pretty close to my dream home. The only thing it's lacking is land. So my next house or property I buy is going to be a property with land. But I do like where I live. And I do enjoy helping people get that dream, own that house. Because I still am very much a firm believer that home ownership or land ownership, property ownership is it's the best asset that you can have. It's proven through history that people who own or manage the land are better off for it. It's generational wealth. If we look at, you know, what's about to happen. um, my mom is a boomer. My dad was a boomer. He passed away. And the sad truth is that, like, we have a whole generation that's about to kill the clip. We have a whole generation that's about to either rethink their living situations, downsize, but those baby boomers, they've built up so much equity in their homes if they've stayed in them for a long enough time, if they've played their cards right, and they're going to be able to leave that for the next generation. Where had they not bought property, they would not have that equity built up. They wouldn't have that extra cash to pull out if they needed to, or help their family, or even leave anything behind. So if you just want to chit chat about real estate and this and that, and or you're looking to buy a house in the area, I know what it takes, and I will not give up, and I'll find you a house. Okay. Thanks. Bye.